All right, well, it's 6 o'clock, so I'll declare the meeting open, and welcome to everyone in the public gallery. It's a great turnout tonight. I'll start by acknowledging the traditional owners on the land on which we meet and pay respects to elders past, present and emerging. Record of attendance, apologies and approved leave of absence. So we've got myself, Councillor Layton, Councillor Richardson, Councillor Miliseski, Councillor Gibson and Councillor Mansell here in person. And then we do have Councillor Moody on the online platform there. And officers in attendance, we've got CEO Matt Bird, Natalie Bell, Paul Spencer, Les Mainwaring and Rod McGrath. So thank you. Visitors, yep, welcome to everyone in the public gallery. Apologies, no leave of absence. Response to previous public questions, nil. Point 4, public question time. So would anyone in the public gallery like to ask a question? No questions. Ainsley, I wonder if you'd like to make any comments on your the late item, Hopetoun Youth and Art Space at Tamar Street.
Hello everybody, I'm Ainsley Forbes with Ravensthorpe Arts, and I've got Anne with me who is an architect, and as you know, the Shire or the space that we're in with the youth art space with the CRC. We've been in that space now for 1.5 years, almost 2 years, I think. I don't think how long it is. And we've been using it. I've got a little thing here showing you how often we use this space, but we're currently up at Tamar Street, which is actually was built as a garage, mechanic shop. So it's a concrete building. We've been in there for almost 2 years, and currently we share it with the youth space, CRC. We use it Mondays, Tuesdays regularly. The Arts Council use it Mondays, Tuesdays. We're in there all day on Monday with vocal lessons, and then on Tuesdays we use it for our team, and then Wednesdays it's used for the youth from around 4 to 15. What we're finding is the space is becoming more, we're finding more opportunities in the space at the moment. It is just concrete, so it's quite hot and it's quite cold. And because we have so much use, we've done performing shows there, we have open and closed mic, and lots of other activities for the same thing. What we'd like to do, there's an opportunity at the moment where Lotteries West have opened a fund to do small upgrading to buildings or technical equipment. And we've just spent the last year getting grants and getting technical equipment. So this is a huge opportunity. It's the first time it's been open for a number of years. There's a lot of us interested. We've only just heard from Lotteries West the opening dates, which is why it's a matter of late notice, because we've only just found out the regulations around it. And it will close again before your next meeting. So you can apply to up to $500,000. If you go over $500,000, they will only fund 30% of it. So we thought it would be an amazing opportunity to also the plans in your notes. An amazing opportunity for us to go for this fund. But because the building is owned by the Shire, we would need your permission. We're happy to do all the work and get everything together. And we've got Anne in there, and we've got a builder coming to quote. So so that would allow us, we've got a full-time stage there, and you understand the problems here with this building. The stage when it was built in here has a raked ceiling. So if anything has off height in it, we actually have to come off the stage because it's got those air conditions and it rakes back. This part of the building now is used for offices, so if we were to come in during the day, it's not always available, and that's not always available. There's a constant coming to and fro. So we've got the stage, which will be bigger. It's a 9x5 with a disabled ramp coming up. A green room where we can control the temperature a bit more. store a kitchen, an extra toilet and storage, and then the mezzanine across the top would be used for permanent stage and sound lighting setup, and then the youth would go up there, so they would have a permanent chill space that they feel ownership about. And have you got anything to say about our design?
No, I think a village needs to be able to have the green room double up as a music room. Having that acoustically treated will make the area have more than just one use. Having the mezzanine with the youth upstairs, so giving them their own space, their own identity, sort of little area that doesn't sort of get shuffled or, you know, packed away when something else is going on. I think it's a good addition to the community. My only, I suppose, if initial comments would need to be from council, and obviously change of use if that's needed from council or what have you. We'd need to look into that further. But I think from a funding point of view, we needed to get initial comment back from council to be able to say, yes, we're happy with this sort of intent, let's progress further, or no, scrap it as a whole. So, yeah, it's just a preliminary start to get some initial feedback.
So this is unique with Lottery West. Normally Lottery West grants are open all year round, but they've decided with the demand and interest, they'll only open it once a year for 3 years. So our thought is to get in on this application round, and we're pretty organised, ready to go. We've got all our strategic plans, everything ready to go. We've got a builder ready to quote. If we get it, you start in December. That's how quick it turns around.
Mhm.
So then the next opportunity is not to the next year, and you start again, and then the next, and then it's gone. So we think after we get the first one, we'll probably have a crack at the second and third one. So, you know, who knows what other building we'll be whipping up.
So I think that the work, obviously, if the space is awarded the funds, the works will be done in January, February. So it sort of gets done. It's a pretty quick turnaround. So.
Got any questions?
I think just for clarity, so you're asking council as the landlord, as the owner of the building, for approval to put this grant application in. So,
correct.
So you still need to get all your statutory building planning approvals, and you guys are fully across all that. But if that wasn't clear in the item, then that's obviously just been restated now.
Yeah, that's correct.
Well, as I say, it needs to come to council. Obviously, zoned as being industrial storage. I'd need to have discussions with yourselves as to family use and energy assessments and escapes and all that sort of stuff. So I think in stage one, I would put it forward and look at how we're going to fund it. So that's where we are.
Yeah. And I think we can actually go, as long as we had a letter from you saying that you were supportive and that would go through all the normal planning procedures, we could proceed with the grant. The other thing is we have to have a 3-year grant in place, at least in place, which is currently with the CRC, which Karina would have been here, but she's actually in a workshop down there for the wildflower show. So we're all on board, or all of us are on board. But if you were happy for us to go forward, we're not asking you for any money. Surprise, surprise. Not this round anyway. We think we can cover it all through that application. And you already have given us some money towards the planning in the last round, and there is a bit of money that will top up, and so we'll write about arts top-ups. But they're not asking, for the first time, they're not actually asking for a large percentage from us, so it's a win-win. That sounds like a good.
I've got a question. Right. So, Ainsley, do you feel it'll be under the 500,000?
It definitely will be under the 500,000. So we're getting it drawn up. We think we can get that into what we've suggested here under the $500,000. The extra would be the acoustic panels that we're looking at that would make a huge difference, but we would do that as a separate. we're talking about going to the Futures Fund, yeah, or elsewhere. Funding.
We've already looked at methods of splitting the works to be able to stage the whole works to be able to keep it under $500,000. What needs to be done first up? What can wait? And obviously that will be determined once we get into council discussing with you more with use and toilet numbers and access and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, that's sort of.
Can I ask if it's a local builder or?
To get the quote and to get someone in here, at the moment, we're using a local builder. License, yeah.
Because the value is over 20,000. So.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, that's great. Thanks. Any other questions around that item?
No, that sounds good.
Yeah, go on. Yep.
Look, it's just a quick question, actually, the ongoing maintenance of the facility and who actually then ends up with the infrastructure that's inside. That would be the question, like, you know, when Shire gets involved and takes over ownership or has additions to its facilities, who's responsible then for the continuing?
I guess it's like every other building that the Shire owned, ultimately they're responsible, but I guess it's like the golf club operates and lots of other people.
Yeah.
Most organisations get off their bums and do stuff themselves because we consider them our buildings. But I guess there's a lot of things in that building now. I mean, we're lucky to be in there, but it's really not fit for purpose at the moment. But, you know, stairs are not to cope. But don't listen to that, anybody. We're using it quite happily. But, yeah, I think that's probably the ongoing. It would end up, of course, because it's on Shire, bought by the Shire on Shire land. So it is something that would be added to the Shire register. But ours would be new then.
No, just thanks, Tom, for that.
Yep, no, that's a good question. Yeah.
Well, I think well done to Roundabout Arts and Hopetoun CRC. I think what you've achieved in that space, because it was just an industrial shell. What you've actually done there is amazing. So well done.
Can adults use that green room?
Yeah, well, this is really, you know, what at the moment it's an open space. So to have spaces where you can have small, I mean, we already open it up to workshops on the weekends and, you know, CRC use it all the time. Other groups have gone in there and used it. So having smaller spaces where everyone's got their own space opens us up to more. And we're a messy space. You know, we used to be in the hall, we used to rent the hall, but it was very problematic for us because we use clay and paint and everything else. And we don't want a pristine space. We want a sort of a usable space where the kids can come and use it, adults can do workshops. And there isn't really anything in town where you can, of the size that it is, you know, a bit limited. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Is there any other questions from the public gallery on any other items?
Yeah, it's not a question, but I'd like to say something if that's okay.
Go on. Yep.
Alan Higgins, representing the Hopetoun DFES brigade down here. I'd just like to say thank you for you guys for donating $2,000 towards our fire mitigation day. It's going to go a long way to providing a good community awareness day. So that's going to be held on the 26th of October, somewhere we haven't decided a venue yet. We're still sort of trying to nut that out, but we'll let everybody know where it is. And if anybody wants to come down, that'll be great. But thank you very much. Really appreciate it, guys.
No worries. Thanks, Alan. All right. Any other questions? No. All right. Thank you for that. We'll move on. Point 5, declaration of interest. Neil.
Excuse me, guys. I've got to go. If that's okay. Sorry.
No worries, Alan. We'll see you later. Point 6. Application for leave of absence. We got one there. Yep.
We do, Shire President. We have one from Councillor Gibson. Is requesting a leave of absence on the 21st of October. The 21st of October, just for that meeting. Okay. So need to.
Yep. All right. Do we have a mover for that one? Yeah. Move Councillor Miliceski, seconded Councillor Richardson. All in favour? Yep. That's carried. We'll assume Councillor Moody's in favour of that one.
Michael. Yep.
Thanks, Councillor Moody. All right, 7.1, confirmation of the minutes of the previous meeting. Do we have a mover that the minutes and associated attachments of the ordinary council meeting held on the 19th of August 2025 be confirmed as a true and correct record? Move Councillor Gibson. Seconder, Councillor Richardson. Would anyone like to speak on that one? No. All in favour?
Yep.
That's carried. All right, point 8, announcements, reports by elected members. So we'll go around the room. I'm starting on my left with Councillor Moody.
Right. I attended the flower show opening, which was a great success. So well done to all the volunteers and everyone involved. So that was well done. And then the night after, I went to the BFAC meeting. Again, there was a reasonable number of people there. There was a few things that came up. The local farmer from Munganup, Graham Stewart, spoke about a new app that he was designing, and I think the Munganup Fire Brigade are already using, and it seemed to be going to be great for everyone going forward. And think we agreed that we might trial it this year through the rest of the brigades. There was talk about the fire shed, getting a quote for a new fire shed. We're still having to get that through. The first quote come through was quite expensive. And then there was also talk about revamping our fire notices and our rates, not so much the newsletter thing that tells us everyone what to do is apparently a bit long and complicated. So that's not for this year, but for next year, that's going to be revamped. And there was a few other things as well, but they'll come through in the minutes to come probably at the next meeting. So that's all for me.
Right, thanks, Councillor Moody. Councillor Miliceski.
I've just got a letter from Alan Higgins. Want to read it all out, or?
Yeah, if you want, it's up to you. Yep.
So basically, to the councillors and staff of Ravensthorpe Shire, on behalf of the Hopetoun Volunteer Fire Brigade, I'd like to extend our sincere thanks for all your generous support of the $2,000 towards our upcoming Fire Mitigation Day. Your contribution plays an important role in ensuring this event can go ahead. We'll directly assist in helping our community prepare for the fire season. It is encouraging to note that the Shire values and supports local initiatives that focus on community safety and resilience. We greatly appreciate your partnership and commitment, and we look forward to updating you on the positive outcomes achieved through this event with gratitude. Alan Higgins, Captain, Hopetoun VFES.
Good. Thank you. That's tabled. Thank you. That's it. Councillor Miliceski. Right, Councillor Mansell. No worries. Councillor Gibson.
Yeah, on the 2nd of September, we obviously had our monthly corporate discussion meeting, and then on the 3rd of September, I met with Rod and 3 sport people that came down from Kalgoorlie. We met out at Munganup to discuss Shire of Ravensthorpe, like sporting and facilities within the area, and we showed them, had a lengthy discussion with them and showed them through and the facilities we had out there at Munganup. And they, gave different ideas of what was out there, and we've already received funding for when we had our bowling green just recently, the last couple of years anyway, from them as well. So that was good to catch up with them. Then on the 5th of September, I had a lengthy phone call from a local resident just regarding the Shire roads and also some greater idle time, I guess. So I then sent an email to the Shire as well, just to try and find out a few points from that. On the 8th of September, I went to the wildflower opening, and Councillor Moody did an address to the audience there. At that stage, I think there was 400 species that they had, so we'll know more. But at the opening, 400 plant species. And I know their turnout for the first few days, I think they raised $4,000 or not raised, sorry. They took $4,000 through the EFPOS on the opening day, and then I think it was like something like 3,003 across on day 3 or something. So they're certainly getting the people. I think on day 3 or the Wednesday there was at least 250 people through the door. So yeah, it seems to be quite popular, obviously. Then on the 4th and the 10th of September, and also I have a meeting again tomorrow, which was the co-op kind of formation group meeting. Obviously, the Ravensthorpe Hopetoun Future Fund don't own the building or anything at this point, or that's kind of still up in the air. But there's a group of us that are meeting regularly to try and discuss opportunities, and we've got a formation group and a shop group to work out how we could best do it. And we've also had a meeting with Peter Wells and Thomas Warner, I think it was, from Lincoln's, to just discuss different options that we have. Then on the 12th of September, went to Further, which was out of Sue's property out here, which there was something like 80 odd people out for the event. And there was only probably about 6 that I knew, so it was great to have a really good turnout of travellers coming through. And then on Saturday, went up to the Ravensthorpe markets. I rocked up there, and the street was just full of old cars, which looked amazing actually, and lots of people were out congregating out there discussing with the drivers and everything as well. And then that too had a massive turnout. I went to a random spider talk, and there was 78 people at this little hour spider talk. So it's kind of certainly popular to the people getting around anyway. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Gibson. Councillor Richardson.
I also attended the opening of the Wildflower Show and I listened to our Deputy President give his presentation. Went down well, I believe. Also attended the Wolga Zone meeting in Ravensthorpe as a North Further, and found it extremely interesting. And it's a shame that I believe that our Shire has missed out over a few years not having been a member of a local zone. So a lot of information came out of that meeting. And that's about it. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah, thanks, Councillor Richardson. Councillor Layton.
Very off my phone, sorry.
That's all right.
Haven't got a meeting since the RTAG meeting on the 13th of August. I think we've had that RTAG meeting. It was the second meeting. It's pretty good. I think we've got the minutes there for it in the meeting tonight. Very interesting for me for RTAG with the Wildflower Show coming up. Loads and loads of stuff going out. I've been taking stuff to visitor centres. We're getting inundated with visitor centres wanting stuff and information on it. So it's been a really good outcome for us, and just ducking around into cafes and whatever. So I find it really interesting that particularly Fremantle Visitor Centre said, oh, for goodness sake, we've had nothing about wildflowers. So please can you give it bigger posters? Give it a bigger posters and put them on. So I'll find that, for me, interesting. And then we've had I've step into the roots and shoots for a bit there, which is always about Ravensthorpe. So much information coming through, so many requests for media regarding because of the show, so that's good. At ABC here again tomorrow. They were here last week, Tuesday. Done 3 or 4 of those. We've got. Sorry, that's in my calendar now. A bit odd this day. Shire meeting. Bring the right one with me. Oh, the Historical Society meeting. But they've been talking to me about scope of works or scope for the job that's coming up. So they're quite, I think Andrew's been talking to you, Matt, regarding that. So they're very happy about that. Nice to see what happens there. I think they could have been inundated with people. I went through past today and I thought, gosh, they're hammered down there. other than that, we've just the wildflower show opening was really good. We'd really like to thank the council for all the support that we have had. The cultural, what we've called the cultural weekend, it's probably been very effective this year, really good. Like you say, we get Rachel Gibson tell me how many people are there, so that was good. But yeah, there was people sitting on the floor, standing up against the wall. Angus Stewart rocked up. He said, I'm coming back next year, so he wants to come back. He did talks on growing native plants. So we had to block his door out so that he can get inundated in there. And Dale Tilbrook did her bush foods presentation, and also and Carol Pearson with the gene stream. So that was really good. She was so happy to be invited and talk about it. And she had the kids there from the school. One of the kids actually took over the talk for her and was explaining it to people how it worked. And so that cultural weekend worked really well because Dr. Leander Mason's Mamang woman, and then we've got Money Down, then Harold Peterson, and it was really, really quite good. And Wayndor got the cows out. That was excellent. And he did eventually say forwards can come. So I don't know if there was any forwards there. I think that's about it. Sorry, it's been a crazy week. I think it's the biggest amount of people we've had through the doors. The real complaints have come through is Telstra. It's been horrendous. We couldn't contact bus drivers. Can't contact people. It's really awful. ABC asked me to comment on it, so I did. Even the CRC is saying how bad it is. People can't even get their mail. They can't log in. They can't get their Wi-Fi. Can't work Wi-Fi on their phone. Elise is saying that Sept saying that you're putting stuff through and she doesn't know if it's going through.
Right.
Yeah. And we've got the distillery guy climbing up the ladder on top of the roof, holding his phone up in the air, trying to get coverage to actually run his EPOS. That's the main.
Yes, less than ideal.
Really good. The only one is I've had a call from the church regarding this room. They were saying, do we have to move that table every time? And
Yep. All right. Thanks, Councillor Leighton. For myself, on Friday, the 22nd of August, we hosted the Great Southern Wolga Zone meeting in Ravensthorpe for the first time. And as Graham mentioned, we hadn't been attending zone meetings for quite a while in past years, so it's been great to be back into that zone. And I thought the meeting was pretty valuable that we hosted here. We had representatives from the Shire of Ravensthorpe, Katanning, the Shire of Kent, Kojonup, Noangarup, Denmark, Broomhill, Tambalup, Albany, Plantagenet, and Woodanilling. So great cross section of shires there, and it was a good day. And thanks to Councillor Richardson and Councillor Gibson for attending that meeting also. Then on the 25th of August, I attended the funeral of the late Mr. Blue Jamison. On the 2nd of September, we had the corporate discussion. On the 3rd of September, we had the local emergency management committee meeting in Ravensthorpe, and that was a well attended event there. I think we had over 20 people in the room there, and we did a desktop simulation of a plane crash incident and resulting bushfire. And it was great for everyone to be involved in that simulation and decide how they would handle that. So that was a valuable meeting to be a part of. And then on the 3rd of September, we had a meeting with the FQM R&O management. That was my meetings for the month since the last meeting.
Excuse me, Tom.
Yes,
Can I just add a couple of things?
Yep.
I had the young botanist girl at the opening of the flower show. I can't remember her name, sorry, Sue, but she wanted to thank the Shire very much for giving accommodation for them while they come down and do their job. She said it's a huge help and makes it so much better for them to be here. So, yeah, she wanted me to pass that on to the Shire. So thank you very much for providing accommodation for the flower show. And the other thing, I'm not sure if this is the right time to do this, but as Vice President, I think this is your last meeting, Tom, and Graham and Roger. So I'd like to thank you all for your time on Shire. And I think for you, Roger, it's been a couple of years. Graham, I think it's been 8. And Tom, I think it's been 8 as well. Or it might be 10 for you, Graham.
Yeah, 8.
9.5 for Councillor Richardson.
9.5. So thank you very much. And Tom, you've done a fantastic job as president. The Shire's been in a better place because of all you three and the input you've done. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Councillor Moody. Appreciate those kind words. All right, point 9, and I do have an announcements by the presiding person. So I do have an announcement, and Councillor Moody stole me thunder a bit there, but I would just like to say that. Sorry. Look, so my term on local government ends in October, as does Councillor Richardson's and Councillor Mansell's. So this makes it our final OCM, and for me, after serving 8 years on council, I'd like to take this moment to thank everyone I've worked with over that time. I've really enjoyed that time, and I feel I've become a better person because of it. And it's also been just really great to give back to the community that's given so much to me. At times it's been a roller coaster, and we've certainly overcome plenty of challenges over the journey to keep the ship heading in the right direction. But I wish the future council all the best, and I'm confident the organisation is in a good place to thrive into the future. So, cheers.
Can I say something, please?
Try and stop him.
Go on, Rod. It's not really in the agenda, but I wouldn't want to stop you.
Thank you, Tom, on behalf of the public for your service, your honesty and integrity. And you've done a job well done. Thank you.
Thanks, Rod. Thank you. All right. Point 11. Right, so the local 11.1 Ravensthorpe Local Emergency Management Committee. So do I have a mover that council receive the unconfirmed minutes of the local emergency management committee meeting held on the 3rd of September 2025? Move Councillor Gibson. Seconder. Councillor Layton. Anyone speak on that motion? No. All in favour?
Yep.
That's carried. 12.2 Ravensthorpe Tourism Advisory Group. Do we have a mover that council receive the unconfirmed minutes of the RTAG meeting held on the 13th of August 2025? Move Councillor Miliseski. Seconded Councillor Richardson. Anyone want to speak on that motion? No. All in favour? That's carried. 12.1.1 Shire Christmas and New Year closure. That time of year already. That council approved. We have a mover that council approved to close the various Shire departments during the Christmas period as shown in the table below. We have a mover for that one. Move Councillor Richardson.
I second.
Councillor Moody. Anyone want to speak on that one? No. All in favour?
Yep.
That's carried. CEO recruitment, 12.1.2 CEO recruitment panel, appointment of independent persons. That council endorsed the officer's recommendation to appoint independent persons to the CEO selection panel as per confidential officer recommendation attached. Move for that one. Move Councillor Miliseski. Seconder,
Yep.
Councillor Richardson. Anyone want to speak on that one? No? All in favour?
Yep.
Carried. 4.1.3, Chief Executive Officer KPIs for 25-26 period. There's 2 points here. Point 1, the summary of CEO KPI outcomes achieved for the 24-25 period. And point 2, the draft CEO KPI tables for 25-26 period as detailed in confidential attachments. And the recommendation is that Council endorse those. We have a mover for those two. Move Councillor Gibson. Seconder, Councillor Layton. Anyone want to speak on that motion? No? All in favour? Carried. Right, 12.1.4, naming and historical recognition of a Shire of Ravensthorpe facility.
Yep, I'll move that one.
Thanks, Councillor Moody. All right, so the recommendation is that Council, point 1, officially endorse the naming of the indoor 2 sport court Ravensthorpe, 2 sport court entertainment and function facility located on lot 158 Reserve 7369 Coleman Street, Ravensthorpe as the Ravensthorpe and Districts Entertainment Centre. And point 2, delegate to the CEO to research and provide details and costings at a later council meeting for both A, an appropriate signage designed to be placed on the outside of the facility, and B, an appropriate display to be placed inside the facility that outlines its historical development. All right, so Councillor Moody's moved that one. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Miliseski, would anyone like to speak on this motion?
Long overdue.
Yep. Yeah, thanks, Councillor Layton. Yeah, and I'd just also like to add, yeah, I think the community is very fortunate to have a building of that calibre in the community, and a lot of thanks go to the committee and everyone at the time who contributed to that building to make it what it is today. So it's therefore important that the history is not lost on that. So yeah, I think this is a good thing to do. So yeah. Right, all in favour?
Yeah.
Yep. That's carried. All right, 12.2.1 monthly financial report, 31st of August 25. That Council received the August 2025 monthly financial reports as presented. Move for that one. Move Councillor Richardson. Seconder, Councillor Gibson. Anyone want to speak on this one? Nope. All in favour? Yep, that's carried. 12.2.2 schedule of account payments, August 2025. It's the right page. The Council, pursuant to Regulation 13 of the Local Government Financial Management Regulations 1996, the payment of accounts for the month of August 2025 be noted. Move for that one. Move Councillor Layton. Seconder. Councillor Gibson. Anyone want to speak on that one? No. All in favour? That's carried. 12.3.1 Community Water Supplies Partnership Grant, Jericho Dam. So the recommendation is that Council, endorsed by an absolute majority, the CEO to propose that water tank and pump works at Jericho Dam be the preferred project nomination to the 26-27 Community Water Supplies Partnership for $49,000 with a $21,000 co-contribution by the Shire of Ravensthorpe in 26-27, subject to the grant guidelines managed by the Department of Water and Environmental Regulation. And move for that one. Move Councillor Gibson, seconded Councillor Layton. All in, anyone want to speak on that motion?
Yeah, I think it's great just to keep continuing to improve our facilities for our emergency services. If it's safer and quicker, then I think it's great idea.
Yep. All right, thanks, Councillor Gibson. Right, we'll put that on to the vote. All in favour? Yep,
Yep.
that's carried. All right, 13-0, 14-0. Sorry, 4.14. There is a point 14, new business of an urgent nature introduced by decision of the meeting. So that is 14.1.1, the Hopetoun Youth Art Space, 99B Tamar Street, council approval for grant submission. So firstly, we need to move to receive this into the meeting as a late item. Someone want to move that we receive that?
Yeah, I'll move that.
You seconded, Councillor Moody. All in favour? Yep, that's carried. All right, so now we'll deal with the item itself. So the recommendation is that council, point 1, extend congratulations to the Rave About Arts and Hopetoun CRC groups for the successful program and event delivery undertaken to the YAS to date. Point 2, approve the proposed building alterations as detailed in attachment 1 building design plans. And point 3, approve the CEO to provide a letter of support from council to assist YAS future grant applications for the proposed works.
President, can I just make a slight revision to point 2? So at the start of point 2, say as landlord, approve the proposed building alterations, just to clarify that it is for in that context of being the building owner, and that all the statutory building and approval requirements are still required outside of this. So.
Yeah. So point 2 to read, as landlord, approve the proposed building alterations as detailed in attachment 1 building design plans. All right, everyone clear on that? All right, do we have a mover for that one? Move Councillor Richardson, seconder. Councillor Layton, anyone like to speak on that one?
Yes, I just like to congratulate the Arts Council for making this move. The council attended a number of meetings there, and it's all very well run, and they do deserve better facility.
Yep. Thanks, Councillor Richardson. All right.
I think
Councillor Layton.
as well as Arts Council, it's the youth art space, Hopetoun CRC as well.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, that's fine.
Yep. All right. Yep. Thank you. So, all right, we'll put that one to the vote. So, in favour of that one?
Yep.
Councillor Moody?
Yep.
All right. That's carried. All right, point 15, matters to be considered behind closed doors. So there is one item there. So we'll just have to we have a mover that we go behind closed doors. Councillor Gibson, seconder. Councillor Layton, all in favour? Yep. All right, so yeah, I'll just ask the public gallery, if you just give us a couple of minutes, we'll just deal with this item. Then you're welcome to come back in and we'll close the meeting and
public gallery back at 6:47.
That was quick.
Aye.
Well, come and see it.
Use your Shire President discretion.
Yeah.
Discretionary power.
Yeah. All right, welcome back to the public gallery. So before we close the meeting, Rod, you've got something. Is it a question or a announcement? I can open up point 4, public question time, or point 9 and point 10, petitions. A suggestion. All right, I reckon we'll open up point 10, petitions, deputations, presentations, submissions.
A few years ago, a guy called Malcolm French made a public statement. This Malcolm French is an expert on eucalypts, probably one of the best known in the world on eucalypts. And he made a statement that Ravensthorpe was the centre of the universe for eucalypts. And I think we should grab that and promote it somehow or other. Now, there is a reserve 2 kilometres from town on the east side of town that has quite a few eucalypts in it. There's sandalwood there, there's salmon gum, all alongside each other, yay, and a couple of others, right there 2 kilometres from town. And the reserve is, I think, vested with the Water Corp. It's just to the east side of the Cording Up Dam, west side of the Cording Up Dam. And I'd like to make the suggestion that the council take steps to get hold of it. If we get hold of it, then I think we just get the grader and make a little track in there, and a little turnaround to promote Ravensthorpe and its as the centre, eucalypt centre of the world.
On the planet.
And the planet.
On the planet.
On the planet. Well, that's a pretty good thing. We should grab hold of it and make something out of it. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah, so that is a nice bit of land, Rod. So we have asked Water Corp to come back to council and present on Cording Up Dam, and because that is part of the land vested to those guys. So and what are they actually going to do with that bit of reserve? So getting the tenure right first is the priority, but I think there's got a number of really good opportunities to use that space. So
if I can help you in any way to get hold of it, give us a yell.
Right, thank you, Freeman.
Right, thanks, Rod. Right, so if there's nothing further, I'll close the meeting at 6:51. And thanks everyone for your attendance.